Hi, I'm Megan Pachas, Principal Broker with Map Property Solutions. And today I wanted to answer one of the most common questions that I have received in my years of doing property management. And that is, what do I look for on a tenant application? So I've marketed my home, I've received an application, so now what do I do with it? And I was going to give some insight on what I do. And the first step is I like to pull their rental history. That means that I call their current landlord as well as their previous landlord to make sure that they have a good track record of paying rent on time, that they took care of the home that they're renting, that when they moved out, that it was kept in good condition, all those things. So whenever possible, I like to get a picture, as broad of a picture as I can. So that involves calling current and previous landlord for the whole history. Of course, we also pull their credit score. And when you're reviewing somebody's credit score, there's no magic number that you should be looking for. But TransUnion did put out this report recently where they reviewed 15 million tenant histories and their credit scores and found that if a tenant has a credit score between 600 and 699 with fair income, that their eviction rate is about 2%, where somebody who has a credit score of 550, that the eviction rate shoots up to 5%. So I thought that was pretty interesting statistics to kind of just give you a little bit of a guidelines of maybe what you might want to consider for your credit screening. Some of these credit screening companies also give you the option to do a criminal background check on your applicant. And if that is something that you choose to do, then I strongly recommend that you check out the HUD website because they have some guidelines that you should follow when reviewing somebody's criminal history. But you're going to want to consider the nature of their conviction, when it took place, the severity of their conviction, when you're reviewing their credit history. And as a reminder, if you are going to be screening their credit history, you need to treat everybody the same. So every person who applies for your home, if you're pulling a credit history on one, you need to pull it on everybody and screen them all the same. You can't treat one person differently than another. Of course, you're also going to want to look up their eviction history. That one's pretty obvious. You don't want to rent your home to somebody who has a track record of being evicted from the places that they were living. You also want to look at their income and verify that their income is actually what they say they earn. We do this by asking for copies of W-2s, maybe an offer letter if it's a new job, most recent pay stubs, tax records from the previous year. Once I receive that information, I also like to call their current employer and just make sure, hey, does this person really work here? Do they really earn what they said that they earn? And, just make sure that those numbers are correct because, that it might not even be a dishonest thing that the tenant's trying to do. There's genuinely people out there who don't know how much they earn. So you just want to make sure that they can afford to rent your home. And finally, I also like to verify that the pets that they say that they are bringing into your home when they're applying are actually really the pets that will be living there. So I just like to ask for them to take a picture of their pet and include it with their application. So those are just some of my tips. I hope they help you out when you're screening tenants for your home.